Okay, hey guys, it's Carla theBubblelush and Brittany, and we are at Cotton Babies in Vancouver, and we're going to answer some of your questions. We haven't really picked questions out ahead of time, so this is going to be on the fly. Okay, tips on transitioning from one child to two. This is a huge question. Like
all of these questions could probably be their own video. So
okay, so from one child to two tips.
I think I heard this before I had Cameron. I forget who told me. I actually think it was Lucy from Joel. I think she told me this. Going from 1 to 2 is the hardest jump, and I believe it. Like as opposed to going from 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Because when you have one, you're used to being completely, you know, you're on their time schedule. You've got your stuff to do, you've got kids' stuff to do, but you can kind of go off of just what, you know, their attitude or how things are going. And when you go to all of a sudden 2 kids, it's like you've got 2 different schedules going on, you have what you need to do, they're at different stages. I find it a lot harder.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The hardest part for me has been trying to prepare Hannah for having a sibling and like not knowing how that was going to go. So while I was pregnant, there was like a lot of anxiety about how having another baby was going to, I guess, affect Hannah. Because the thing is, I knew how to parent, like I know how to take care of a baby, so that like anxiety wasn't there this time around.
Been there, done that.
Yeah,
you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but it's how it's going to affect the family as a whole, because here Hannah's been used to having me just like hyper focused on her, basically, and now it's split, and I think that's hard for anybody, especially a 2.5-year-old.
Yeah, that's true. I think because with our kids, they're 16 to 17 months apart, depending on the time frame. So Carter doesn't. I don't think he'll ever remember being an only child. Yeah. He was pretty young, so it was kind of like one day he just was being introduced to his brother, and so we didn't really have to prepare him much because he's still a baby. Whereas Hannah was 2.5 years old. She like knew what was going on. And so,
I'm 2.5 years old.
You are 2.5 years old. A lot of my focus went into like preparing Hannah for a little brother, talking to her about what was going to happen, what was going to change. And then, you know, when you have a toddler, you're used to, like you were saying, you're used to like their nap time, and you're able to get stuff done during their nap time. But when you have 2, like the likelihood of them napping at the same time, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. Okay, so we had to take a break because William needed a nurse, so... Oh, we're never going to get done if we wait for both kids.
For tips for going from 1 to 2, I was thinking that it's super important what you mentioned, the preparing your older child, especially if you've got bigger gap, like bigger gap than I had, or even bigger gap than you guys had.
Yeah.
It's good to prepare your kids, and the involving them, I think, is crucial.
Yeah, involving them. We gave Hannah like a gift at the hospital because I wanted her to feel like involved and special as well, and that just worked really well for her. And every time she like goes for her backpack, she's like, William gave me this backpack, so that works really well. And then every night, like 15 minutes of time is just me and Hannah. And I make sure it's a time where William cannot interrupt us. So either I know that he's really deeply asleep, or Chris is home and Chris is with William.
Yeah.
So it's uninterrupted, just me and Hannah time. And I try to do it every day.
And that's my phone.
Okay, what do you do to take time for yourself away from the house and kids when you have a budget of $0? So for me, window shopping is always free.
Oh yes, window shopping. My husband doesn't get window shopping. I love it.
Oh, I love it too. I just walk the stores. We either go to the mall, or they have like a nice outdoor mall where you can actually get like fresh air. There's a fountain. It's great. With or without the kids, it's great.
Or even just if you can just spend some time with like a friend, or even just like if you're really, you know, getting frustrated with your kids, just hang out with a friend that doesn't have kids yet. Just spend, even if you're only getting together for like an hour, maybe you're just having coffee or something, or maybe you're, well, if your budget's of $0, maybe you're not doing anything. Maybe you just go over to their house and you're just hanging out, talking, venting.
A budget of $0 is a little limiting. I have to admit, it's a little limiting.
But it's doable.
It's doable. It's totally
a bath, you already have to pay for water at your house, so a bath is free.
She wanted to leave the house, though.
Oh.
So if you leave the house, right?
Away from the house
away
and
from the
kids.
house and kids. I go to the mall.
Lots of window shopping.
Shopping. I mean, of course, you could go to the park. You can take in nature. A lot of museums and stuff have like free days or like cheaper days. so those are always nice to take advantage of.
Or going for a run if you're into running. That's something you could do. Run away.
Just run away from home.
There's some people, like, that clears your mind. Like, you just, fresh air clears your mind, and exercise gives you endorphins too, so that'll help with feeling stressed and having some alone time.
Yeah, you gotta find your stress relief. If it's either hanging out with friends, or exercising, or just getting out on your own and window shopping for a little bit.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay, you want to answer some more questions on your channel?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.